My name is Veronica Wairumo Macharia. I'm a farmer here at Bahati. I own 2 acres of land. I cultivate maize, I cultivate my beans, and I'm also keeping dairy cows. The first symptoms I noticed is the saliva, which was coming from the mouth. Very heavy saliva that was just pouring. I just started noticing there is something wrong. And then the feeding also stopped. Eating now is just a problem. They can't eat.
My family they are farmers. They normally deal with cattle farming and dairy farming. When I was still a kid, I developed the passion of being a farmer. 2 months ago, my cows developed foot and mouth, and they started dripping the saliva and limping. And all of a sudden, they couldn't even eat.
Foot and mouth disease is a highly infectious and highly contagious viral disease that affects cattle and other ruminant types of animals, as well as wildlife. It spreads quickly from animal to animal, especially when people and livestock are in close proximity. Clinical signs of infection include salivating, ulcers, and lesions in and around the mouth. These symptoms can cause problems with eating, which can lead to secondary infection, and issues with their feet that can lead to lameness. Other frequent symptoms are loss of appetite, weight loss, and a drop in milk production, which can persist even after recovery. Chronically affected animals are reported to have an overall reduction of 80% in milk yield. It is estimated that foot and mouth disease circulates in 77% of the global livestock population, and morbidity levels can reach 100% in susceptible populations. The disease can be life-threatening, especially for calves.
Generally, it's a disease that lowers production. So you have a dairy cow that is producing a lot of milk, and it gets infected, but its milk level drops right down. Globally, it causes a major economic impact. It constrains farmers in their productivity, but also constrains this export market. So many countries are afraid of getting into trade agreements in livestock or in meat products because of the fear of importing foot-and-mouth disease.
The viral disease has severe socio-economic consequences because it can disrupt regional and international trade of animals and animal products. It's estimated that foot and mouth disease costs Africa approximately $2.3 billion per year in economic losses.
The impact of FMD to the livestock of Ethiopia is very great. Foot and mouth disease is endemic in Ethiopia, and it affects livestock for the farmers directly and indirectly. When we say directly, weight loss, lameness, and milk reduction, all was incurred directly to the farmers. When we say indirect loss, it's also the cost that is incurred for the treatment and vaccination, and the cost for the animal maintenance or during it is so sick. And indirectly, it is restricting the trade export of animals. So Ethiopia could not be entered to the high valued strategic market to the Far East because of the foot and mouth disease.
This disease, foot and mouth, has never been in my mind. We have never been informed about it. The diseases that we have always met, we are able to manage because we call the vets around. My 4 animals were producing to a tune of 35 to 45, depending with the feeding of the day. The highest I've had was about 55 liters in the 4 animals. So finally, I have nothing. I'm buying milk to feed on for my family.
Foot and mouth disease is endemic in all East African countries. Outbreaks occur frequently, and cross-border movement of infected animals can exacerbate the problem.
In Kenya, we have the 4 strains of FMD, that is O, A, SAT1, and SAT2. FMD being a transboundary disease, we have a challenge because of our uncontrolled movement of livestock from one county to the other. And also even from our neighboring countries, we normally get animals from Tanzania, from Uganda, from Sudan, and also from Somalia. Because of the movement of animals, the disease is able to spread from one county to the other, and also from our neighboring countries to our country.
When I heard that there was an outbreak of foot and mouth, there was this doctor, Mr. Godho, who came around. So he came and he vaccinated them about 3 months ago. But it's just yesterday when I noticed now the saliva now that is coming just too much, and the feeding has just stopped. That is when I called the doctor. Came and gave the medication. We washed them with the magadi. In fact, they could not even wake up. So you had to drag them and just pull them, and then we started washing them. I'm very fortunate because they have not died.
Despite the clear impacts of foot and mouth disease in Eastern Africa, efforts to curb the disease are often limited in scope, since governments face various challenges. In addition to the transboundary challenge, which can limit the effectiveness of control activities by any one country, governments in the region also face significant resource constraints.
The major challenge one is sometimes we lack vaccines, so we might not be able to vaccinate our animals. So the other challenge we have is that we are doing a free vaccination, but some of those farmers do not present their animals for vaccination because they say that the animals are either zero grazing or they have other issues. The other challenge we have is we have very, very few staff, so which means disease surveillance is a problem. And the few staff we have, they are also aging, which means we do not track each and every farm, each and every area, so that we can be able to detect the disease.
Before, my cows could produce that 60 liters a day, but after they got sick, they could produce at 5 liters a day.